What's going on, everybody? So I am continuing my trip down the East Coast, and I made a pit stop to see my buddy DJ here at Monroe Morphs. And while the name might imply ball pythons, you've got a bit more than ball pythons.
Yes.
Yeah. How many species do you think you have?
I think last I counted 25 plus, give or take, localities and subspecies.
So a crazy diverse collection, and he's got a hyper focus on Australian python species, which is right up my alley. Before Amazons took over my world, I was all into the Australian stuff. So we're going to take a look at some really cool Australian pythons today, and you guys are in for a real treat. All right, so we're starting this off on the smaller side of Australian pythons, and right now we're looking at two different snakes, although they've recently been classified now as the same thing, but we're looking at Stimson's pythons and children's pythons. So these are part of the Antaresia family. These are a dwarf python species. They typically max out at about 30 to 36 inches, while spotted pythons, the maculosa, can get closer to 4 feet, but these are pretty much your average size adults right here. And while they've been recently classified the same, if you look at these two animals side by side, they're actually pretty noticeably different. So don't necessarily align ourselves with the taxonomic changes that are going on with these guys, but they're super, super cool. While not necessarily the greatest starter snake, they really do make great pet snakes. And if you don't want a python that's gonna get huge, these Antaresia are absolutely perfect. Okay guys, so we're gonna step it up a little bit here. So we just looked at some really cool dwarf species of python. We're stepping it up to Liasis, and this is actually Liasis olivaceus, or the Australian olive python. These little babies are so cool. They haven't even had their first meals. They just went through their first shits. These used to be considered the gentle giants when it came to the Liasis genus. And if you've kept olives before, you know that that's not always entirely true because they can be incredibly food driven. But these little guys are so cute. And back in the day when I was first getting into Australian pythons, these were kind of like the holy grail species for me. So it's really cool to get to see some of these little fresh hatched babies. And we're actually going to take a look at an animal that's an adult, that not only is an adult, is actually 20 years old. And that's also incredibly impressive because we just never see big ones like that. So I've got to ask you, bro, why the olives? What was the draw to the olives?
So the olives are another one where it's different and unique, but it's also something that it's not heavily morph driven. The only morph that is there is albino. It's not IDing, it's not questioning, it's not shed testing or anything. It's like there's an olive, but there's a challenge with it.
Yeah, 100%.
This was the animal that produced these was 13 years old. Mm-hmm. It was her first clutch. So with that, it's a challenge in itself, and it's just rewarding for the whole process. Some things I could have done differently with incubation and so forth, but overall, like, some people look at things and be like, well, more should have hatched, more should have done this, more should have done that. And the thing I think we gloss over when it comes to keeping is, like, good eggs are going to be good eggs, bad eggs are going to be bad eggs. Good eggs sometimes can go bad because of things we might do. Right. So those are the things we can look at of like how can we maybe change things, whatever the case. But when it comes to like that bad good egg thing, like you can get a great clutch of eggs that looks good in the beginning, and those eggs that are destined to be bad, they're gonna be bad. You can't do anything bad, and you can't get hung up on that.
Right.
But what you should look at is like these hatched.
100%. That's a success.
The couple that hatch or whatever the case, like those hatch, and that's like an awesome feeling.
100%.
Not worried about morphs, not worried about even the sex or whatever, like the ratios or anything. It's like what hatched. It's like that's just a great thing.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, let's go take a look at a nice big adult olive python. All right, so we're taking a look at this amazing 20-year-old olive python, and this girl is absolutely massive, but just an absolute sweetheart. This is why they got the name Gentle Giant. And man, I'm speechless because this is just such an amazing snake. Again, to see one of these animals at 20 years old, this is absolutely stunning. And for those people who are just like, oh, it's just a brown snake, what this snake is and the complexity of this species and working with a snake like this is truly an impressive animal. And there, as DJ was saying before, there's so many challenges with working with this species, breeding, dealing with the potential for cannibalism, so many different parts and pieces to this puzzle. So just getting the moment to spend some time with an animal like this is absolutely magical. And she's all over the place and I'm absolutely loving it right now. But man, olive pythons, if you're not familiar with this species, get hip to it, because what is going on? This thing is just so freaking cool. All right, guys, this is probably one of my favorite Morelia. This is actually a Morelia Bredli, or the Bredli's python, or a Centralian carpet python, because the Aussies still call them carpet pythons, even though we tend to not in the US. But these aren't just regular Bredli's pythons. We've actually got a stonewashed genetic stripe and a single gene stonewash right here. So morphs and Bredli's pythons are still actually pretty new, just within the last decade or dozen or so years. And we're really just starting to see how crazy cool this already really impressive looking snake can be. And again, one of my favorite Morelia. And these guys are known as the sweethearts of all of the Morelia overall. And while they might be giving you a little trouble, they're actually really, really cool snakes. And they tend to tame down pretty normally with age and size. But these guys are absolutely stunning. And they get to be a decent size as well. Big adults hitting close to 8 feet long. And it's a really impressive looking snake. But these guys are really cute. And it's really cool to see what we're able to do with the already impressive colors and patterns of the Bredli's python.
Unlike some of the other species in Morelia for carpets as well, the Bredli's definitely are the hardiest. When it comes to care and keeping, they're what's referred to sometimes as the tank of the species. They come from a very arid type area, saying it correctly, desert within a desert. So it's harsh, it's hard to live, and they thrive in it. So when it comes to keeping them in captivity, it's kind of, you can do no wrong. Not saying you can't do wrong, but
they can tolerate more for
sure. They can definitely tolerate more. They make an excellent species to keep as pets.
Okay guys, this is probably the holy grail when it comes to Morelia. This is Morelia carinata, or the rough scale python. As the name would suggest, they do have pretty heavily keeled scales. This is a really unique feeling animal. And you might remember an old video of Brian Barczyk in Australia messing with one of these guys. It was absolutely lighting him up. And it got him a lot of respect to being the US guy in the land of Oz getting railed by one of these. But they're absolutely beautiful snakes. They might not look as impressive as some of the other cool carpet pythons with the fun colors, but the rarity aspect of this snake alone makes it so impressive. This was a species that we didn't even think we were going to be able to work with in the US, and now they're slowly starting to become more common. There's a lot of things we're still working on to understand with this species, but man, I really am in heaven. This is one of the few python species that I would still love to add into my collection, and what a magical species this is. Yeah, I really have just been enjoying myself here at Monroe Morphs, and I'm really excited to see what DJ continues to do as he continues to grow his collection of already over 20 species of different reptiles. So I'm excited to see what's to come for sure. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Drop a like and leave a comment down below. Let me know what one of your favorite Australian pythons is. Was it one in this video, or is it another species that we didn't get the chance to highlight?